Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. We're halfway through another beautiful week. Just want to tell you guys thank you for stopping by today. As always, me and Scott are here delivering you guys the best of the crypto news that we find on a daily basis. Again, I'm vibing. If you guys don't know by now, one of the admins over here, BigONE. Scott is also an admin at BigONE. His name is also AKA the Crypto Beast. He has social media for BigONE as well. But like I said, we kind of like to take a couple minutes out right there and go through some of these articles. But before we get started, we like to just kind of jump into a thing that's called a daily market sentiment. And it's brought to you by the Crypto Beast. We kind of like go to the Crypto Beast, find out some of his sentiment on the market from based off of social media, as well as some charts that he may have may not looked at throughout the day. But without further ado, let's jump right into that. Mr. Crypto Beast, Scott, introduce yourself and tell us the sentiment today.
So you guys you heard everything that Vibin said, so that covered my roles and all that fun stuff. So I guess we can get right back into the market. But I'm divided. Like as I was telling Vibin earlier, I keep on waiting for it to break that 45K mark. It has not done it in the last few days. The one thing that kind of makes me a little bit bullish as we get closer to the weekend is it is a Super Bowl. I was wrong last week. It wasn't Super Bowl. Shows you how much NFL I watch. And it should be interesting to see what happens with the advertisements and stuff that's going to happen. Is it going to propel it to new levels? And there's discussions that are online right now that are very pro towards cryptocurrency in the United States Senate or House committee. So there's this general feeling that it seems to be almost like the news is turning to more positive versus a negative. So I do have a feeling it might lead the market a little bit differently.
Could it be a buy or a rumor and sell the news type of event?
Well, they could drop their $4 billion of Bitcoin on everybody if they really wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, not only Bitcoin. I always think about it overall with total market cap and the volume. But yeah, I think you have a big you have Russia right now talking about banning cryptocurrency, and now they're talking about accepting cryptocurrency to almost put Bitcoin as a legal tender. And then you have the U.S. that was talking about possibly adapting it, and then now they're talking about maybe rejecting it a little bit. So now it's the Super Bowl where we kind of know that there's going to be a couple of meme coins that probably pay for Super Bowl commercials. So you're going to see a lot of hype. I think if you do see this, it will be one of those buy the rumor, sell the news. We've seen it with Doge, last bull trend, or the last like bull run around this time of the year, where Doge came in and Elon pumped it up, and then it went to Saturday Night Live, and then kind of like people bought from there, and those people are still kind of sitting underwater. So. But we'll watch it play out. I think anytime you have these big media events, you always got to be careful, because it is a lot of the times that people buy the rumor and then sell the news. So definitely be careful. But we're going to jump right into the crypto news today. I think the market sentiment was right on point. I think right now it's still that divided feeling where we're starting to see some green, where it's like, man, we can't get through certain resistance levels, and without getting through those, there's no way to turn them into support. But without further ado, we're going to jump over to the daily crypto news, and I accidentally closed my first article, but luckily for me, it comes from a franchise that Scott told me was his favorite franchise to get food from, which was McDonald's. I recently just put in an application here, so we'll see how that goes. As you guys know, I'm joking about that because McDonald's and crypto, they've been having like a little back and forth where it's been jokes about potential crypto influencers who not been able to do really well, potentially putting in applications at McDonald's. It's kind of a joke that goes around on our Twitter and most of our social media platforms. But funny enough, my first article comes from Cointelegraph.com. The headline reads, McDonald's files trademark for Metaverse restaurants that deliver. So this iconic American restaurant chain, McDonald's, looks like it's preparing to make the move into the Metaverse by registering for 10 trademarks in the virtual space. So trademark attorney and founder of German Intellectual Properties, Josh Gerben, tweeted, today's McDonald's restaurant submitted the trademark application on February 4th, including plans for a virtual restaurant featuring on actual and virtual goods and operating virtual restaurant featuring home delivery. So based on the application, the restaurant chain will be able to provide downloadable media files for artwork, audio, and video files in NFT. McDonald's also included its McCafe brand in the Metaverse trademark application. This brand would be ready to offer entertainment services, namely providing online and actual virtual concerts and other virtual events. Could McCafe become the new branded virtual destination to catch sponsored concert from everyone's ex? We never know. But here we are looking at McDonald's talking about doing all of these things and adding into their parachain in a sense. Because they have like this big parachain, a Paneraverse, like because they own Panera, they own Chipotle as well. McDonald's is one of those places that they're just one of those brands that's really big, and I don't think people know the magnitude of that brand. And here we are looking at them, putting in trademarks for the metaverse, and they didn't just do it with one trademark. They put in 10 trademarks. So for somebody to file 10 trademarks, that lets you know McDonald's is going to bring what they bring to the table, and what they bring to the table is a lot of intellectual property and a lot of different business models.
That's awesome. I'll go to, I've heard Vibin likes carrying some of this stuff around, so just want to talk about it quickly as it's one of his favorite clothing lines, probably, and bags too. Gucci buys land in the Ethereum game, the sandbox,
just
to create
just the purses.
Metaverse experiences. The luxury brand also sells virtual items for players to wear in the game. Gucci is doubling down on its commitment to the metaverse. The designer clothing brand announced on Wednesday that it has bought an undisclosed amount of virtual land on the decentralized blockchain game, the Sandbox. Gucci will create a themed experience on the Sandbox inspired by its Gucci Vault platform, which will list items like Gucci-themed NFTs and vintage bags. In addition to a fashion-focused metaverse space, Gucci will also be releasing fashion items for Sandbox players to purchase and wear in the game's virtual reality. For a new generation of players, virtual fashion is important as real fashion, which is absolutely insane, but it is what it is. I know you personally probably like to carry the bag around on your person versus in the virtual world.
I like that. I like the diaper bag as well as the everyday girly tote. Right, those are my favorite Gucci bags that I like to carry around. But to keep it serious, here we were. I feel like we were just talking about this a little bit over 3 months ago now. And Andy had put out this great article where he was talking about how the NFT space was going to be able to bring in these major brands. Why? Because you could actually take NFTs and make those digitalized items that people could wear in these metaverses. And here we are today, and not only today, I feel like every month, Scott, we've been breaking a little bit of news about new major designers getting involved. We had Chanel so far talk about it. I've seen things from famous car makers, Bugatti, Lamborghini. Now we're talking about Gucci, and it keeps growing, right? And I think it's amazing to see that, because it shows you that these brands they know the value of these NFTs. I mean, they're able to take a T-shirt, Scott, and the Gucci T-shirt's probably probably $400 for plain Gucci T-shirt, and sell it for $400, right? And like, is the T-shirt worth $400? It depends on who you are, right? Like, I think quality wise, it feels better than a cheap T-shirt, but does it feel $400 more better? I'm not sure about that. But regardless, I think if it's something that you like, then you're going to purchase it, right? And they know that they have a client base or a community that follows Gucci, right? And in the sense, these people already don't think Gucci is too expensive, otherwise they wouldn't be purchasing it. And now that they could actually take, and this community may be getting into NFTs as well, you're able to offer them the same products that they wear on a daily basis in the metaverse. And even if it's at a higher cost, Scott, they could potentially sell digitized shoes or items probably half the price that they sell some of the actual physical items for. Or if they make them rare and they only produce 1 or 2 of that color, they could sell them for 10 times as much. But people will buy them because you got to understand that's the community that is backing them, right? So like their following is gonna want that, and I think that's an amazing article. But yeah, definitely one of those people that's been on the lookout for, you know, major brands getting involved with, you know, NFTs and metaverse experience. I mean, you know, like McDonald's is a joke, you know, for us. Honestly, like, you know, I don't really eat McDonald's because, you know, like it's just not for me. But I mean, Scott, to be honest, like McDonald's is one of the richest restaurants in the entire world. Like no, it's not the best food. Like you can go to Ruth Chris and get a steak, or you go to McDonald's and get a double cheeseburger. But I'll guarantee you that McDonald's has sold probably 1 million more double cheeseburgers than Ruth Chris has sold steaks, because they can touch more people. And not only that, they're pretty common throughout the entire world. Like I've been to Tokyo, I've been to a McDonald's there, I've been to one in France, I've been to one in Malaysia. They serve noodles at some of the McDonald's, you know, like so it's funny to see these big brands getting involved using, you know, Web3. NFTs and other metaverse type of projects. But to get into my second article from the day, we're going to jump back over to Cointelegraph. The headline reads, Aave launches Web3 social media platform, Lens Protocol. So this kind of reminds me of a lot of things that we kind of been seeing recently with, you know, projects getting involved in trying to offer some kind of decentralized type of social media platform or protocol to reward its people. But we're going to jump into this article a little bit more. The decentralized lending platform launched the Lens Protocol ecosystem on Polygon blockchain as they were challenged, where they wanted to challenge decentralized platforms like Twitter or Facebook. What started as an open letter to garner support around the idea of content creators should own and control their digital identities led to development of Web3 native social network powered by NFTs. So the company founder, the CEO, Stani, I'm not even gonna try to say his last name, Kolochevich, and the founder of Aave described the mission behind Lens Protocol. He said, we wanted to build a social media protocol, or essentially a social graph, and make these profiles on-chain, following the relationship of on-chain, and creating a permissionless way to distribute content by a creator and the audience. And what he's basically saying is like, hey, we wanted to solve the people who actually create content. Like, let's say you have a Instagram influencer. For an Instagram influencer, they could be an Instagram influencer, but they can't take their content from Instagram and automatically have that same view and presence on another social site. So meaning that if you took your content from Instagram and you put it on YouTube, YouTube has to start over with all new content and all new creator people viewing it. Whereas like it's still the same content, right? So it should be permissionless, and it should see that it's viewed from all these different places, but it's still viewed by your peers, right? No matter if it was 100 people on Facebook or 500 on YouTube and 1,000 on Instagram, collectively you had 600 views. And that's what essentially these type of projects or these type of protocols are thinking about, right? Where you have the keys to your content and you have your keys to where you permit it to go, right? Because it's your content. So I think this is really interesting. We've seen a lot of these things pop up. I think when you think about Web3 and where we're going to step into with Web3, you're going to see a lot more of this own your own data, control your own information, your own medical records, your own, property deeds and things of that nature. And you're going to see it through Web3. The one thing that keeps popping up in my mind, Scott, when we keep talking about this Web3 and things of that nature is you keep hearing about Polygon. Like, I don't know if that blockchain is specifically made for Web3, but I just keep hearing Polygon. Like, this is an Aave article, and within the first line, they'll say they launched it on the Matic blockchain. So I don't know. We talk about this and we say it every 2 to 3 weeks, and I'm always laughing because like there's always something about Polygon. It's always an article about Polygon Matic. And here it is again, teaming up with Aave to create this Lens protocol. I think it's something cool to be on the lookout for. Yeah,
no doubt. And my next article, I guess you talked about a coin. I'm going to talk about one too. Shiba Inu sets course for the meme coin Metaverse as Doge Killer token jumps 48%. Love how they still call it Doge Token Killer. The world of meme coins is now entering the Metaverse. The team behind Shiba Inu, an Ethereum-based token that arguably has little utility, but is the 13th biggest cryptocurrency with a market cap of 18.4 billion, have announced a virtual land project. I question that guy saying it has no usability. That's the wrong wording. I'm noticing a lot of news places say a lot of garbage on different things. I think sometimes it's on purpose. I mean, it's not like your regular ones at all, but I mean, there's still use cases behind Shiba, and I'm glad that they came out with a metaverse in their own land. I'm interested to see who they integrate with, because I'm assuming it's going to be someone that they're going to partner with. So,
man, I think when you talk about Shiba Inu and saying it's funny that they call it a Dogecoin killer, I think that it's funny to even mention Shiba Inu like as a meme anymore. I think if you look at the performance of Leash, you look at the ecosystem that they created, they have their hands in a lot of things. I know that we also offer liquidity mining for SHIB on BigONE. I think when you think about SHIB, it shows you the power of community, and I think it's funny that even when people say that community is only one part of it, I think this is a prime example that when the community wants something to succeed, if you get enough people together with the same goal, then it'll happen. And I'm with you. I think SHIB is one of those projects to keep an eye out for. I don't call it a Dogecoin killer. If anything, it's the Dogecoin flipper. I think that with the way they design their blockchain and some of the different things that they offer, they have a little bit more growth than a lot of the sport type of contracts or sport type of blockchains in a sense. So congratulations to those SHIB holders, and we've been bullish on SHIB for a long time. We talked about it. I have that funny story. So I only got stuck with it because I couldn't sell it because I bought it on Ethereum. So shout out to all the SHIB holders out there. But jumping to my last article, we're going to slide back over to Cointelegraph. The headline reads, new Alfa Romeo SUV uses NFT and blockchain to track car records. So Italian car maker Alfa Romeo unveiled its latest vehicle, the Tonale SUV. The firm claims that it is the first industry to connect each vehicle to its own blockchain-based token, which can keep track of the car's whole life cycle. One of the most distinctive features in SUV is that each car is linked to an accompanying NFT, the Tonale NFT. According to Alfa Romeo, certifies a car upon purchase and then simply records and keeps data during the vehicle's lifespan. Francesco Calcara, the head of global marketing and communication at Alfa Romeo, said, upon customers' consent, the NFT will record vehicle data, generating a certificate that can be used as a guarantee of the car's overall status with a positive impact on its residual value. Here's the power of blockchain, taking something that's pretty much trusted source right now, where you have all these things to verify if your car is a one owner or if there's a vehicle maintenance report. These are things that make your car more valuable when you go to sell it, right? Here's the blockchain coming in and saying, hey, look, we can offer you guys a NFT, and not only that, every car is its own token, and this is the car's data that goes with it. So every car is, now special in its own sense, because you can see everything that pretty much happened in this car on chain as long as the customer agrees to purchasing that NFT for that car. I think this is amazing. I think, what you see in NFTs steadily growing and the need for it. You've seen Lamborghini get involved. We just talked about that. Rolls-Royce, Mercedes, all the top companies are getting involved with this space-time memory in a sense, where you put things on chain and it records the on chain or the time. What do I like to call that? I like to call it like pretty much the timestamp. Yeah, that's what I like to call it. So your space-time memory and your timestamp is pretty much the same thing. So things that happen in time, there's a stamp on it, and it's going onto your blockchain and saving to your token, and it'll create value when you go to validating what you've done with the car and where it's been.
That's amazing. I don't know. This whole market right now is just intriguing. I think I said it before about everything that's evolving and how it's evolving. It's quicker than any of us ever expected, I think. In the end.
Yeah, for sure. I think, especially for a lot of people that's getting involved newer, I think it is. It's happening a lot faster, right? I think for a lot of the people that's been here for a while, I don't think any of these protocols, in a sense, are news to them. I think that eventually they got in 4 to 5 years ago because they knew eventually that some of these people would potentially get involved, or they knew that big players would come. I know people who were buying land in Decentraland in 2017, right, and telling us about it, and to be honest, I thought they were smoking a little wacky grass or something, right? I was like, yo, like bro, I'm not paying for any land on land when I don't own land in the real world, right? And lo and behold, like they've been selling some of this land for millions of dollars, and it works, right? And it just goes to show, I think, with this adoption, and you starting to see these big name brands get involved, it just goes to show you what kind of spin they're going to put on it. One of the things I always talk about is that these big companies, if they do get involved with NFTs, people are so worried about regulation. They don't realize that when these big players get involved, they're going to bring a certain form of regularity that they're used to conducting business by, with lawyers, with contracts, with trademarks, with patents. And they're going to do it the right way. Like I don't like bringing up McDonald's again, but they filed 10 patents today, bro. Like McDonald's is like one of those people is like, all right, well, yeah, we might be a shit restaurant for food, but when we come in and do business, we do it the right way, and we own probably a vast majority of real estate throughout the whole entire world, or anywhere we can put a McDonald's. So I think, I think it is growing a lot faster than we expect. But I feel like for the retail consumers, I think we're still early, right? I think it's always good to be in or get in when these type of people are getting involved.
Yep. No, that's true enough. I'm gonna read this last article because I really like this. It's just another state. We discussed the other one that was looking into this, but a bill introduced to let Tennessee buy Bitcoin. Another bill was introduced on the same day seeking to make Tennessee the U.S.'s top destination for Bitcoin enthusiasts. It's a Democrat Representative Jason Powell introduced a draft bill to allow the state of Tennessee and other municipalities to invest in Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, and NFTs. Tennessee House Bill 2644, as introduced, authorizes a county, municipality, or the state to invest in cryptocurrency, blockchains, and non-fungible tokens, according to the bill summary. I find that is impressive that you're seeing more states grab onto it, because in the end, the states isn't going to have a choice but to implement it. When you have other states that are slowly implementing it themselves, it's not going to leave room for anyone in the Senate or the House to disagree with other countries if they want to keep their spots.
I think overall too, Scott, I think, if you think about it, all the deficit that we face amongst nations, right? And it's due from governments lending out money to different states, right? If these states can adapt cryptocurrencies and have the residents of that state actually fund that state, or the residents of that county actually fund that county through digital currency, I think this solves a lot of problems more than just currency issues and money issues. I think this solves, inflationary issues, as well as putting a perspective and a cap on relying on the government, in the sense the governments have always proven to do the right thing by looking out for states and different countries, but at the same time they've overextended the spread. Our balance reports and our balance sheets, and we're overspent by probably a decade already. So I think that if we have any form or any way to fight back, I think that some of these states are seeing that and potentially seeing that. I think somewhere down the line that if you don't communitize your state and your people, and you rely on government funding, that funding never gets cut off. it's going to probably be a little bit too late to unify, or make it a little bit more difficult to unify on a later date. So yeah, that's what I think about that one. Just saying, to jump over to our last thing today, guys, we're going to jump right over to trading view. Look at the three things we like to take a look at before we jump off of here. One is total market cap, and we're going to see where that's sitting at, as well as some of the dominance factors that we like to take a look at, which is Bitcoin and Ethereum. So right now, the total market cap is at 1.98 trillion. We've been able to, as we like to call it, elevate to the next level up from, the chattering range of, I think Bitcoin is like 38 or something like that. And I don't really look too much at exactly Bitcoin, but, I look at the total market cap, and we've seen the total market cap kind of, push down to the low 1.68, now to push back up to the 1.91. And I think this 1.98 is the same thing as the 1.91 area to me. I think this is the level that we're trying to regain support in, to try to leg up and get into this $2 trillion market cap. So I think that the crypto market cap still kind of floating around in that consolidation period. It's been a little bit of a spring and a bounce, but nothing really bullish as far as breakout. Bitcoin dominance is at 42.01. It's good to see that starting to come down. I'd still love to see it in the 41 to 40 range, to be honest. And the Ethereum dominance right now is at 19.19. So good to see Ethereum dominance get back into the 19s. We know we've been struggling between 17 and 18.5 for a while. See that thing push up like that. It's just good balance factors I like to try to look at. And the reason why I know people always say, hey, Chris, why do you like the Bitcoin dominance to be down? To me, I don't think it's a problem with Bitcoin dominance being up. I only think it's a problem with Bitcoin dominance being up when there's a downtrend, because that means that Bitcoin is holding significant dominance over the market. And if Bitcoin's not moving up and it's moving down, it's going to take the market with it. So that's why I like to see that dominance down. But as always, guys, we appreciate you guys tuning in with us. I don't have anything else from us today. We did have the AMA with M content. If you guys didn't have a chance to check that out, make sure you check it out on YouTube. It was recorded, so you can check it out on our previously recorded AMAs. And other than that, that's all I got. Scott, you got anything before we head out?
No, I think I'm good right now. I'm excited to see what this weekend brings to the crypto market versus a regular crypto weekend, as Ivan would call it, where it seems to pump on the weekend and then dump on the Monday.
Yeah, man. I think this weekend pump is going to be fun. I think you guys should be very careful. Like it could easily be one of those, buy the rumors, sell the news events. I think we've seen the market cap kind of get pushed into the $2 trillion area. I have a number that I'm very cautious with. I've shared that with some of my friends. I don't give financial advice, so I wouldn't share that here. But I think you guys should always be cautious in the market until there's a confirmed breakout, unless it's just money you're playing with. Other than that, you could always lose it. But until next time, guys.
Peace. See you guys later. Have a wonderful day.